Welcome to Media Makers Spotlight from Women in Film and Video in Washington, D.C. We bring you conversations with industry professionals for behind the screens, insight, and inspiration.
Welcome, everyone. This is Media Maker Spotlight. I'm your host, Tara Jabbari, and today I have Wendy Braun, an actor with over 80 credits to her name. Most recently, she starred in Jury Duty, Company Retreat, playing Elizabeth, private equity director of True Kiss, aka the villain of the new season of this scripted comedy. We'll get into it. So welcome, Wendy. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Tara.
Okay. So explain how to me. How is this a scripted comedy?
Yes. So Jury Duty presents Company Retreat. It follows a new temp, Anthony, as he comes to work for a small business and head out on their company retreat. So he does not know that everyone around him is an actor, and the entire thing is meticulously staged. It is scripted. It has story beats, story arc, and all of that. And then obviously it's a lot of improv because you have one guy who doesn't know he's on a TV show. Mm-hmm. In the center of the story is a retiring CEO, and he's deciding whether or not to pass the family business off to his unqualified son or to sell to private equity. And so it becomes a battle of David versus Goliath, and I am Team Goliath, basically.
Yeah. So I also was thinking, this is season 2. Obviously, this is the company retreat, and it's that David and Goliath story. First season was more the jury duty part of like a case and the dreaded, oh, you've been called for jury duty, right, and all sorts of stuff. But both have these very loving, real people. Everyone else are actors playing a part, and you all feel guilty for lying to the main person, the hero, as the script will say.
Yes.
I always felt like it's more of a character study, like a human study, case study.
Yeah. And, we want to be really clear with the viewers. The intention behind it is always to shine a light on the goodness in humanity. And so it's never mean-spirited. It's never putting him in a place making fun of him. We're the ones who are the comedy, and he's in it. What's so beautiful about it is has so much humor, obviously, but so much heart. And so I think what people are loving is to watch this amazing man who has so much character and integrity and generosity to be brand new as a temp in this company, and watch him over time get to know everyone and champion them, and the way he stands up for them and what he does inside of really a week on a company retreat. It is a marvel at that. And I think it's shining the light on how good people can be. And I think that is really at the core of what this show is about. And that's why people love it, is that it's unlike any other shows that sort of do the opposite,
And you were part of, not really in the core cast. So you came in, and what your co-stars with your assistants for True Kiss were also revealed to be writers for the show.
Yes. So yes, I come in, I play Elizabeth Prescott. I do not work at Rockin' Grandma's Hot Sauce. I come in as the private equity boss wanting to acquire the company. And I come in with my team, True Kiss team, of Lee and Jean. And I say that like they're behind me because they were always behind me. But what people might not know is that Lee and Jean, played by Chris Kula and Rachel Hine, Chris is one of the executive producers on the show and a writer, and Rachel is one of the writers. And they're some of the best comedy writers in the business. And to have them flanking me and be on our team, and of course we're all redheads, and that was sort of a fun play on conformity and corporate culture. But yeah, that is very much it. And so she comes in and she feels very much like she's the mentor because she wants to elevate the company. But a lot of them at Rockin' Grandma's see her as the menace because she's doing things very differently than they've been doing.
Yeah. So I was wondering if we've seen parts in season 1 and in season 2 where they're like, if this happens, if hero reacts to this way, we'll do it this way. If hero acts this way, then we'll do it that way, or something like that. Yeah. With you being with the writers, were you able to kind of see how did you guys have to readjust the script, or was it always planned? And then when Anthony showed up, you're like, let's do this, or were there rewrites?
Yeah, every day, what people also don't realize is every day they'd send Anthony and another person who was with him like on a run at the end of the day, and about 100 cast and crew would come out of the woodwork and all meet in the yurt, and we'd have a debrief on how was he responding today? What did he react to? What do we have to sort of up the ante on? What do we have to turn down the volume on? So it definitely is a daily assessment of how he's feeling and what's going on and the storyline. And so often we would adjust things, but we have things to get to and beats and story arcs and all the things that you see in the show. He's got to go up and down the hill and all the things. I got to get knocked out and get a bloody nose, all of that. Like, everything is scripted, but within that world, you have to be able to improv as your character for hours if need be, because what you see on the screen is a 30-minute thing, but we're at a company retreat and it's all day. And so it really required everyone's, precision and commitment and collaboration at the top of their game in every single department. So we would sometimes adjust, of course, on the fly, but luckily he was almost a step ahead of us. Like, he would ask in the very beginning, he asks Kevin, do I get a hat? And he doesn't realize like he's going to get the hat later. So he was in it.
Let's go. He's, the son is probably hiding in the mountains. And you guys explain, they're like, we were going to tell him to go into the mountains and he already did it. We're like,
yes. And sometimes when he wants to go up the mountain and we weren't going to get there till 3 pages later, it's like, we're going up the mountain. You're not going to tell him no because he's leading the charge. So you would redirect. And that, I think, is the beauty of the show, and the difficulty of the show is because all the actors in real time, we have to adjust and it's such a listening exercise and responding and immersive and
but also it's like a human study thing. You're like, obviously we're going to go to the mountain because there's nowhere else to go. But it's interesting that the writers are like, obviously we'll go to the mountain, but when that goes, that's an interesting part, because you're like, interesting. He didn't even decide to like go through everyone's room or something like that. He just decided to, what I mean? Like, it's such an interesting...
Well, it is. And like you say, it's such a beautiful sort of study of human behavior, because he got to know Dougie so well, and he really understood him at a really vulnerable level from the get-go, because Dougie was vulnerable with him. Anthony thinks, he probably went to get away from this little world of the retreat. And so it's like he was really, I have goosebumps thinking about it. It's like he was so in tune with who he was really living with, that it was his intuition that led him and that led him to do everything he did, and because he's such a good person, then you have this show that's beautiful, and his arc is amazing. And, we all love him forever.
There were some parts that I laughed so hard. I had tears in my eyes.
Oh, tell us what.
One is was the fleshlight, the I can't say it.
Yeah. Other Anthony, as we call him, Rob Lathan, amazing actor,
when they
amazing
find that sex toy, and
he drinks out of it,
and he drinks out of it. But then you guys have someone who pretends to be from so they found it, and other Anthony doesn't realize what he's drinking out of.
Yes.
Which is a sex toy that was left behind from a previous company retreat. And then at the end of the episode, somebody from that other retreat comes back and is like, I left something here.
Yes.
And little, sneaky Anthony's like, no, nothing's here. So we were like, oh, you're a trickster, because he's so supportive of everyone.
Right.
But I think he's like, no, I'm going to have some fun with this too. And he has such a good straight face.
I think and I love that you love that, and it's hilarious, and it's supposed to be, and Rob plays it so perfectly, because he plays that other Anthony character so well, that he's just the bumbling guy, and he's brilliant at playing it, not being it, but he's an amazing actor.
When he's like, this really might surprise you, but I have 2 kids. Because other Anthony looks like he's a grown man. Be successful in marrying and all that.
Yes,
stuff.
yes. Like he doesn't live with black mold in an apartment. Like he has a life, right? But yes, I think it's so telling that Anthony felt so protective of the Rock and Grandma's people and the company retreat. And we heard the Malibu realtors were like so nasty and horrible
that's right.
that he does distance himself. And I don't know if people notice, but when the Malibu realtor comes, he has this giant like herpy on his mouth. And that is special effects. If you go back, that's special effects. Giving him that because we want to just make him just disgusting and whatever. Yeah. So like that he's maybe a little promiscuous and having too much fun or whatever. Yeah. So
and not very respectful. And he's with Anthony is with the woman who
Marjorie.
Marjorie who takes care of everything. And so she already has expressed that she has frustrations with these guys.
And if you'll notice, Anthony's never alone talking to someone new. So and everything's cued, Marjorie knows. She's got the walkie and she's cued that, Malibu realtor's coming. She walks out with him. Anthony always has someone with him or, hey, can you go do this? It's very intentional. If people watch a lot of people like to watch the show again to like look for like, how did they put this together? And so you'll notice a lot more things, including that special effects shout out.
I'm going to go watch there's a couple more. There's so many things I want to talk about.
I love it. It's so fun to look. We're so proud of the show, and it took so much to put it together. That to talk to you about it and to know that the fans are loving it. I
was like, how are they going to do a second season? And it's clever when we're like, oh, it's a company retreat. That's why everyone on jury duty is going to be like.
Yeah. Look, I was very excited when it was a company retreat. I was like, oh, and it shoots out in Agora and it's outside and all. They sort of share it a little bit in the behind the scenes episode in episode 8. But, jury duty was shot in 3 rooms and company retreat was shot in 13 acres. And it takes so much to maneuver cameras and set stuff up. And it was like giant undertaking.
3,600 hours of footage.
Yes, 3,600 hours of footage.
What first season, and then like the cameras everywhere.
Yes,
as it was in the first season, but it had to be probably I think doubled or something like that.
Yeah, it was I think in the 20s in the first season, and now it was 49, and they're in like garbage cans and behind any scene you're watching. If you see black behind, and there's there's a lot of rooms where there's like a black. It looks like just a black mirror kind of thing. There's a camera behind it, and in mirrors and everywhere. So it was, it was both thrilling and terrifying to work on this show because at any moment, any one of us could break the whole thing. It's like each of us were holding the show in the palm of our hands, cast and crew. I know we're out on the front lines, but behind the scenes as well. If anyone does anything, it could mess it up. And if he finds out, the show is over. And so it was exciting when it worked every day, but your heart's racing. And we were all like, it was a high pressure, high stakes job. But I think that's also what makes it so rewarding that we pulled it off and that he, is rewarded in so many ways from it. And that, people love it.
So was it shot in order? Because the way that I saw it, you are mostly in it, arguably 5 through 8.
Yes.
But I saw you in a few parts.
Yes.
So was it shot in order or?
Yeah. So they intentionally plant me in the first episode just because Anthony and they plant me in Doug's office to have a meeting because Doug and I have been talking over the years and he was always like, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready. And then he comes to this inflection point where he's finally like, I'm ready. And he revisits it right as Dougie comes back from Jamaica and now he has 2 options. So they plant me in the first episode and they ask Anthony to bring Doug water just so out of the periphery, he has seen me before, right? And so he clocks me, whether or not he knows who I am or whatever. It's not like I'm out of the blue. Where'd she come from? We've been in talks. So that is very intentional that I'm in that first episode. And then he has to get to know Rock and Grandmas. They have to go on the retreat. Dougie has to try to take over the company with all his great ideas that are epic fails. And then Doug's like, I gotta revisit this. And then I come in. In the end of 4, we pull up in a Cybertruck, right? And then Dougie's like, what the heck, right? And then the audience and Anthony are both assessing Dougie and seeing if this could, and he's getting to know them. You have to build that before Trucas comes in. Otherwise, Anthony might not fight for these people he just got to know so well.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Now, as part of it seemed like there was going to be like a love triangle made between you, your character, Kate, and Claire. Was that intentional or was that kind of improvised?
It's definitely improvised over time. And a lot of Claire's improv, I would not hear because she's in they call it the talking heads when they go get interviewed. So as an actor, I'm not quite aware how much she's like into me and calling me these things.
Mm-hmm.
But I also, as an improviser and an actress on the show, anytime she's checking me out or whatever, I'm realizing, oh, okay, this could be a thing. So I'll go yes and to it. Cause in improv, it's yes and it's not like no. Right. But Kate is very much, Kate's kind of the only one who's like, I think Trucas would have been a good idea. Like, I want to level up, right? Like she's taking her notes. She's like the mini me kind of, right?
Mm-hmm,
it's like, and so she wants to kind of impress me. And even her line about like, I just love that you're a girl boss. And then I sort of shut her down with like,
I know I'm like, what a witch.
I know. And so that is sort of scripted. It's like, well, it's not just, girl has nothing to do with it, which is a shout out to all of the bosses out there who happen to be women. That girl boss actually, like, I feel like in some way, yes, you can use it as an empowering way, but does it remove our power that you're calling it a girl? You don't ever call him a boy boss, right?
At that point, you're like, oh, that's sweet. And one day we won't even need to have that title. Like that would have been a nicer way approach.
Of course. And
you know what I mean?
Wendy would have not said that, but Elizabeth is like, she's brand new there. That is also to set up Anthony to be on Team Kate. So when they knock me out, they have a good reason. All of it is so intentional about anything that's said in front of Anthony is an intentional moment to drive the story forward, to have this antagonist be a little bit, or very much the villain. And then you see Kate and I at Sagebrush Cantina, the hypnotist show that night, that I send her a Bloody Mary. I'm trying to kind of, I don't know that there's a love triangle, although I'm sure the producers would love that even deeper underneath it. But to send her the Bloody Mary, that she sends me back the rum punch and Anthony helps with that. It's helping Kate get her confidence. And so and he's part of that, right? And so you love that. You're like, yes, like every night we walk away and you just be so excited that he's getting further and further into loving them and being on their team. And I have to come and be the bad guy for that to work. Or the bad girl, sorry. Or the bad woman,
The bad person. Did you enjoy being the baddie?
Look, it is fabulous playing the villain, especially when she pulls up in a Cybertruck and all the things. At times, it was challenging because I am the fish out of water and I am very much, having to come in composed and confident and in control, and no one likes me. So the actor who wants people to like her is like, okay, but this is a role and this is an amazing role. And I felt so blessed to be able to do it. And so I had to just go for it. It's like, not everyone's going to like you on screen or off. So let's go. And, really felt like walking a high wire without a net doing the show and playing the villain. I had to learn the logic and the language and vernacular of private equity. And it took a lot of research and then collaboration with the writers. And I felt ready, but we had a lot of rehearsal as well. But playing the villain is, I love playing messy, complicated characters. And that's to me,
that's a good one.
Yeah, what she is. And I also feel like this, Tara, no villain thinks they're the villain. I think I'm there to just elevate and offer up opportunity and access and all the things. So I didn't see her as this horrible person while playing her. She's just trying to get what she needs and she goes about it a lot of different ways. But, it was a fun challenge, and to rise to the occasion, you walk away feeling like you can do anything after doing Jury Duty Presents Company Retreat.
Yeah. Okay. The hypnotist, was that an actor and were you guys all scripted for that? Because I've been to a hypnotist show and I know how it, they teach you how that works.
Yes.
So it was like,
so we had a real hypnotist, he's a real hypnotist and he's amazing. And we did have a rehearsal. So we understood how this was work. Cause what you don't want to have happen. And Chris Kula, my Lee and Jean Lee was my Trucas team. if you get hypnotized and you break the show, like you cannot really.
That's what I was worried
Yeah,
about.
it's like you have to. So they're trying to like listen, but not listen. And the hypnotist knows to not take them so far under that they're going to blow the cover, right? So it is scripted as far as the stories they're going to tell. But then in the moment, you're improving. You don't know if Anthony's going to go up on stage with them. You don't know all of those things, how she's going to react to the drinks and all that. But the hypnotist is real, and everything you see, we've rehearsed. That's why it's this scripted comedy. It's like it's taken rehearsal. We have directors and writers and producers, and we're crafting it, in rehearsal, and then again in real time, we're adjusting and responding.
It's almost like theater, like doing live theater.
It's live theater. Yeah,
for an audience of one.
Yes, it's live theater, except one person doesn't know they're in a show. Exactly, an audience of one.
Does having different names help you guys? Because I was like, wouldn't it just be easier if you just were known by Wendy instead of Elizabeth?
A lot of us have been on a lot of different TV shows, and so we didn't want to use any of our real names. Luckily they always find someone who maybe maybe they're not watching as much TV or pop culture, or they haven't seen you on all the things you've been on. What people might not know is that we decided on day one to not use any of our real names because we didn't want to learn any of our real names. So from day one, from the first table read, we decided my brain can only see you as Kate or as Dougie or Doug. And so we never learned each other's names until the show was over. Until it was absolutely over, because in season one, I think there's a moment where the bailiff calls someone by their real name and Ronald clocks it. And so we knew how delicate of a job this is, and that we couldn't afford to have even a slip up like the wrong name. So we're like, why learn our real names? Who cares? Like, let's just learn our names. So I still have people in my phone as their character name, and they will forever be that character name.
So cute. I finished season 2, and I just wanted to watch the last episode of season 1 because you guys kind of reveal it. And that happens. They're like, Cassandra, but then they just asked an extra to pretend to be Cassandra. I'm like, who are you going to ask? The tree to be Wendy, so that's smart. Yeah.
And I got to say, that's the brilliance of the producers in that moment. When something happens like that, they're in the control room being like, get an extra, walk her through, have someone call her name out, like fix the issue right now so he sees it in this world and keep it real. And they are brilliant at doing that. And you see, even in the reveal of our season, there was like one little moment and they clocked it and got it. And they had like 2 minutes to do it.
The key in the car.
The window, when the notary pulls up, he's going to lock the keys in the car, but the window was a little bit down. Well, it's hard. You could just reach in. The moment's over. You can't call a locksmith. Like there's all these things that you got to go up and down the hill to get the locksmith. If you could just reach in the car, you just ruined like 5 beats and who knows what. So yeah. And we don't know that. Luckily, Anthony didn't notice that enough that when he comes back out, but they had 2 minutes because he comes in, sits down, and I'm like, where's your pad? And then he's like, it's in my car. And out they go. And they had, so to watch that, I didn't know that happened. I don't even know until I see the show.
Marjorie was like, she saves the day. She's like, you guys are going to have to explain what happened.
Yes.
But you're welcome.
And we all, Jake had a finale screening at his house where the whole cast and the cast of Jury Duty 1, we got to watch the final 3 episodes together, and none of us have seen most of it. And so that Marjorie moment, we all busted out laughing because we know the feeling of like, I can't wait till you tell me what the heck happened. Like because the thing is that I was telling my kids as we were watching it the other night, if you have, and some of us are wearing an earwig, and so Jake can talk to us, like lean this way or for the shot or whatever it is in real time while you're doing a monologue. You can hear like move left, and you have to be in the moment.
So not everyone has that, just a certain amount of you.
A lot of the women have it because we can cover it with our hair, and then we're all on the same channel, and so sometimes you'll hear notes for someone else, but at least you're knowing what's going on. But I was telling my kids, when Jake is talking to you in your ear, there's no asking why, like you just do whatever he says, right? You're not like, why, what do I need? You just do it. And so Marjorie's like, he's like, nope, get him now. And now you're watching what that's like in real time. When Jake says to do something, you do it. and you execute. And then she's like, I can't wait to find out like why I needed to do that later. And then obviously we find out. So.
Yeah. And it was so well done because I never suspected a thing. Because also
brilliant.
she's right there in front of Anthony too.
Yeah, she is so brilliant to watch in this. Her fast walking way. Like I just love her whole character. And she's like, nope, let's go. Yeah, we'll come inside. Like, I mean, that is the show. That is what it's like to be on the show where you are just, I have goosebumps thinking about that moment because it does get your heart racing when you know something's wrong. You don't know what it is. You know you have to fix it. And Anthony's right there.
For you guys, a lot of you guys, it was so annoying because while I'm watching it, because I watch a lot of TV, I watch a lot of films, and I'd be like, they look so familiar. This is going to bug me. Where are they from? Where are they from? Where are they from? And all sorts of stuff. And for instance, in season 1, they had one of the actors, and he was a pretty regular person in a regular actor in Parks and Recreation.
Yep.
Right. And I'm like, that's the guy who was in the he was a meanie, an annoying character from the government and all that stuff. And so I was like, really? You didn't realize that was the guy? I totally could tell that. So so do you guys ever, first of all, do you guys ever go and you're like, it's kind of rude that he doesn't recognize me? Or it's thank God for that.
No, of course you are. First of all, I'm grateful for the career I've had. I'm also grateful that they chose someone who hasn't watched all the shows I've been on and isn't studying my career, right? Or any of us, you know? And so I don't think as an actor in this show, you're ever like, darn, he didn't recognize me. You're just happy that they found a guy who didn't watch Atypical and This Is Us and Grey's Anatomy and Criminal Minds and all the things or whatever, and all the things everyone else has been on Veep. And, you know, the cast has hundreds of credits between all of us. He's not looking for that. And, you know, we're happy that we're there and it's being pulled off in this way. It's funny. I actually have done an episode of Bones, and then Claire is so obsessed with Bones, and I had to tell the producers because they're going to watch an episode of Bones, and they're like, we need to make sure it's not the episode where Wendy is, of course, the killer. So they made sure to not do that. But other than that, you know,
that's a good point.
We're good.
With all of you guys, they're like, we need to do that. No, everyone that they're on that show. Yeah, I have to think about it.
Yes, I would say now none of us could ever do another jury duty. They'd probably know.
Yeah. You know? Well, that was my other question was, do you think there's a reason why so far in these 2 seasons, it's been a male that has been, because I feel a female would be highly suspicious. We always have to have our guard up.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, no.
Yeah, it's funny. You know, I don't know if they'll ever do a female. That hasn't been talked about yet. I mean, in rooms I've been in, but I haven't been in all the rooms. That would be interesting. I think as a mom and as a woman, you know, as a female growing up in the world, what people don't realize, and maybe even male producers, is like, we watch everything. We have to, I walk in a restaurant and notice people. I walk to my car and notice, like we're probably live a more high alert life being a woman.
Yeah.
Right. And our intuition of like, maybe we question things. Well, I don't know, you know, it just, I mean, I just want to highlight the goodness of the guys they have picked that actually someone had said, can they please start a dating service with the jury duty picks?
That's
like,
so sweet. That is so
they probably
true.
have like 100 guys who are amazing. And it's like, they should start a dating app, you know, because these are like good, amazing guys. And I'm so happy they found them. Would a woman, you know, there's a lot of people on the interweb, you know, who would say like a woman would notice it and all that. So who knows? Maybe they'll do it and we'll see.
I know it really would be tricky because I'd be like, no, see, I feel like probably a woman would be like, no, let's double check if the car is locked. Do you have your key? You know, something like that.
Yes.
That's one thing. Or just researching the company. Or she's like, True Kiss, I'm on it. Let's find out who is True Kiss. Right. You know,
and
kind
to
of
their credit, to the producer's credit, they had a True Kiss website. I think it's down now, but during the duration, they made a Rockin' Grandma's Instagram page. They sent Doug up to Northern California to an Oakland game to have him do the first pitch. So they put a lot of things in place. But I think a woman, and maybe I'm partial, like a mom is, you're just checking stuff.
It's
so
hard.
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see how it is, but I was just wondering.
Yeah, that is
okay.
It's good. And I wanted to say, if they just keep finding like the best guys in the world, then that's great too, right?
That's true. And it does give you, like, you hear so many sad things going on in the world and stuff, but then when you see these people coming together and it's just so sweet, or like now the way to do a food review, like it's so cute.
Yes. Tara, I mean, that's what I love about being part of this show. And it's really a community of the most loving, kind, amazingly talented, creative people in this business, and that they are coming together to what I believe is uplift and inspire and empower people, that people could maybe watch this show, reflect on who are they being in that environment, and how could they be more like Anthony, and what can they learn from it? I've had moments with my kids where we've paused it and they're like, he is so amazing. And I pause it. I'm like, why is he amazing? What do you think? And they will talk about like his manners or the way he approached something or how kind he was to someone. I'm talking with my teen sons on how to be a good person. And if this show is doing that and I can play a part in that, I am forever grateful.
Yeah, it's a really great model of just, again, I was like, this is a human study show, honestly. And putting them into all these weird situations. And the guy he's like, it's okay. No one's talking about the proposal. Come. Everyone will love it. We'll welcome you with open arms to the boss who basically abandons him. And that's the head of HR. That's like the gem of the writers. They're like,
I know, it's the head of HR who's
has
like
to abandon
inappropriately,
him after
like,
inappropriately proposing to a friend.
Yes.
Colleague.
And then at the end, how he has to take the paperwork and he's like, I can't do it. I mean, to me, it's just hilarious, right? And that Anthony invites him back. Now it says in the script, you want him to invite him back, but Kevin might have to leave. Like, should I come back? Like, do you think? It's right away. Kevin doesn't have to ask but once. And he's like, yes, we're a family. Like, you couldn't write the stuff that came out of Anthony's mouth in the most perfect way, in the most loving way. And I mean, and the cast created all that. Those bonds, I want to just say, those bonds are real and they're for life. I still text him, we DM. We are friends, even though we weren't on the show. And
it's so cute. He's like, thank you. You're a great actor, but I still don't like you right now.
Yes, I know. I'm like, it might take a minute. But yeah, I told him, I'm like, I have 2 kids. I'm a mom and, I just play this on TV.
You have a background in acting and obviously improv, but you started a couple of workshops and things like that have gone all over the world. And articles have been written about it. You've been featured on Forbes. And I was wondering if you can kind of share about it, because I feel like what we are talking about with Jury Duty, this scripted show, which I would still say is a human case study, kind of goes, if I'm understanding it correctly, to what you have done. So you have actorinspiration.com that you started in 2015, and you started the Success Breakthrough Workshop. Can you kind of explain what the purpose of these were and what is it about?
Yes. Wow. I love that you know all this. Yes. And it's now merged over to wendybraun.com, sort of all things there, but I run a global coaching business. And so on screen, play a corporate power player, but off screen, I'm a small business owner and I help empower creatives. We're now in 25 different countries. And I really help people move through fear and doubt and uncertainty to live their biggest creative dream and their creative life. And what started really in one studio in LA with 12 people, I taught my Success Breakthrough Workshop live in a room, and they would come back every week. It was like a 6-week program, and they come back every week with the most amazing stories and development deals and all these things that were happening. One girl had to go off and do a job. And when I gave her I would come in with my keynote and I gave her that and my guided meditations that I made. And she went off and was able to do it not in the room and still have breakthroughs. And that's when I realized, oh, maybe I could share this with more people than live in a room. And so I took it online in 2017. And now thousands of people all over the world have done this program. And the breakthroughs have been amazing. I think the point of it is really doing the inner work, that any big creative dream that looks so fabulous on the outside, the shiny Instagram post, to get there, it requires really deep inner work, identity work, clearing out some cobwebs of negative beliefs and things you were taught growing up. And then the outer work of what do you have to actually do, the steps. So a lot of people say my work is both practical and profound, and to merge the two together is what I do. And I love doing it. And it's just been a labor of love when I'm on set, and then to have a student anywhere in the world, from London to Singapore to Brazil to LA, email me and say, I did this exercise and I had this breakthrough, or I booked this job, or I did a TED talk, or I'm on Broadway now. My students are series regulars on the West End and writing books, all the creative dreams. And to really use my success and help other people create theirs, and to let them know they can do it, and to show them then the path, is just been so rewarding. Yeah.
That's beautiful, because that was when I was like, oh, if it's an actor's workshop, but it says creative.
Yeah, it's morphed over time because so many actors were coming in, but they were also like, well, I'm a writer. Will this work for me as a writer? I was like, yes. I'm a director. Well, I want to write a book. I want to do TED Talk. I want to, and so it expanded as over the years. And they all would tell me, Wendy, I use this in how I deal with my kids. I use all of your tools and teachings in my life. It's helped me create an amazing life. And so what started out as maybe just for actors in a room definitely expanded to, anyone with a creative dream who wants to live their best life. This workshop and everything I do inside my business is to help lead the way from a place of joy and love and fulfillment. So it's less about the hustle and it's more about the flow, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Especially, arguably the acting has so many no's and negativity, and you're not right for the role. You're not this, or you're this, or you're too tall, you're too short, you're too this, you're too that, you're this. So to hear it from this idea that you started this workshop and you're like, it doesn't matter about any of that stuff. Like, what is it that you want to do? Or how can you
that's exactly it,
yourself?
Tara. Look, I always tell my students that success is mastering the fine art, and it is an art, of dealing with rejection and setbacks and failure and disappointment without letting it define you, derail you, or defeat you. And that, at the core of what I do, is I help people to navigate the messy middle on the way to their biggest dreams. Because it's those down days. It's those days where you don't know what to do, where it feels like nothing's going on, where you're getting rejection, whether it's from a publisher or an agent or whatever, or a content creator you wanted to collab with, like whatever it is. How do you navigate the moments that aren't the red carpet, right? And so that's most of the time, right? That middle part. And if you can learn how to be resilient and have, emotional resilience and mental game mastery of it all, then nothing defeats you in that way. Yeah, you have down days. I have ugly cry days all the time. I tell my students, like, I've ugly cried on every freeway in Los Angeles, but then you get back up again. And so everything I teach is about how do you get back up again and really keep going, sunshine. That's my motto.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. So I will put, it's now wendybraun.com.
Yes. And in fact, I'd love to share if you want, with your viewers. So there's a guided meditation I created that people are loving, and it's totally free. It's called Creating Success While You Sleep. And it helps people. In the last 5 minutes of your day is the most powerful part of your day. And whatever you're thinking about and sort of ruminating on, your subconscious mind will marinate on it through the entire night. So this guided meditation, you just put it on and go to sleep, and you will be reprogramming yourself for success. People said who had anxiety and had trouble sleeping, or just wanted to not be worrying late at night.
Yeah.
They listen to this and love it. So anyone can get it at Wendy Braun, BRAUN, WENDY BRAUN, wendybraun.com/sleep. And you can just enjoy a free guided meditation from me, and hopefully it will help you to have good sleep and wake up feeling confident, ready to pursue your big dreams, whatever they are in the world.
Thank you so much. We will definitely put it also in the show notes, but
Awesome.
easy to remember.
Yeah.
And thank you. And right now, Jury Duty Company Retreat is out on Amazon Prime. Anything else that we haven't touched on?
A pleasure to talk to you. I love how passionate you are about the show and all of the things. And we're just delighted that it's landed in the way it has. And I hope people love it. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Media Maker Spotlight from Women in Film and Video. To learn more about WIF, visit F as in Frank, V as in Victor.org. This podcast is produced by Sandra Abrams, Candace Block, Brandon Ferry, Tara Jabbari, and Jerry Reinhardt, and edited by Michelle Kim, with audio production and mix by Steve Lack Audio and Ed Saltzman. Subscribe to continue learning from more amazing media makers. Please visit MediaMakersSpotlight.com for more information.